step into the haunted halls of Spooky School. Each week, we take the fearless Jimmy on a journey through uncharted horror territory as we introduce him to spine-tingling movies he's never seen before. Beware, dear listeners, for the chilling tales we unravel may leave you sleeping with the lights on. Here are your hosts, Professor Spooky and Jimmy.
Hi, welcome back. You can see that Joe and I have really extensive outfits. I
wear the same costume every time, so
I'm thinking that this is gonna be my every time one too because it just fits.
This was filmed
I like it.
weeks after our latest episode. Definitely not 2 minutes after.
Well, you know, you got to keep a little bit of wonder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make people wonder, like, where are we filming from this time? How long has it really been?
Yeah. 6 days.
20 days. 2 years, actually. So much has happened.
Yeah.
And we're so on top of uploading and that we're totally, like, up to date on everything that's going on, which is why we're going to make submarine jokes this entire time to stay up to date with current jokes.
Yeah.
This will be even funnier because it's probably going to be like 6 weeks until this gets uploaded.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, of course, yeah, submarines. Yeah, did that? No, people are already thinking about nuclear. Well, hopefully, there's nothing that happened with Russia that's on a nuclear sub.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Either way. Anyway. But today
we want to talk about an all-time classic.
Yeah,
I hate this movie so much.
I had the exact same reaction where I did not want to like it as much as I did, and it just felt it actually, from our conversation with why am I blanking, on Friday the 13th, this really just felt like a all-around better updated version.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
They have definitely a lot of things common in terms of terrible pacing issues. Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. And, I mean, luckily in this movie, there's a little bit better acting, but we'll get into exactly where
we'll
that's going.
get into it.
But
I will say I do like the intro, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like panning shots of this campground. And we get like some voiceover talking about how like, oh, something really terrible happened here, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. It like set the mood a little bit. And we hard cut to these kids playing in the water. When I first saw this movie, I thought that it was kids at that camp playing in like a lake at that camp. Mm-hmm. Or that was like explaining what was going on as to why it got shut down, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until like the very end, and we will fucking get to the end, where I realized like, oh no, these two things are just completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. To me, that's just like bad editing because there needs to be something to tell me this shot and this shot are not related. You need to have like an establishment of something, right?
Right, and it's the craziest thing to be like, don't worry, we're setting up this camp, and now we're onto a new scene. Where's the scene? It's on a camp on a lake.
It's on a camp on a lake. So this opening shot takes place in the future. Then this next shot takes place in the past. Are we going to tell you? Fuck no, we're not. Figure it out for yourself, idiot.
And, dude, the opening straight up felt like one of those 80s public service announcement videos.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like,
do you own a boat? Don't let this happen to you.
Yeah.
Then it just hard cuts to kids getting run over.
G.I. Joe.
The more you know.
Yeah.
So it's a family with two children, Angela and Peter. And it does not go very well for them because as they're trying to swim around in this little lake, there are these fucking idiot teenagers in a fast-ass boat. What the fuck is wrong? Jimmy, are you drunk?
No.
Say the alphabet backwards for me. Say, oh my God. Stand up straight for me, please, huh? Can you even do that?
I'm trying to balance it.
Oh my God. Jimmy, you and your microphone stand are drunk.
It's a new mic stand, and unfortunately, she is budget bin. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't tell who has the higher alcohol level right now, you or the fucking stand. So these dumbass kids are just in a boat. They don't know how to drive it, and they go straight over these two kids and John Baker and Mr. Unknown. Oh, no, wait. I think his name is Lenny. So it's Lenny, John, Angela, and Peter, and they just get fucking railed by this boat, right?
Yeah.
Dusted, gone.
Which was not I mean, I felt bad because it's a horrible thing, but like the way that it's shot and the way that it's everything is like you see what's going on, and I just had to laugh. Like when it happened, I was like,
the way that it's shot, the way that it's like shot to like cut around things they know they can't show. Because they don't have the budget to show like some dude getting his head ripped off with the fucking motorboat helmet, right?
Right.
So they just have to like cut around that and cut to reactions of people going, "Oh no, it's so terrible."
Yeah.
But it is 8 years later, and we see Angela is now fully growing up, and she lives with her aunt and cousin. Mm-hmm.
And her aunt is a mentally ill psychopath.
You could just tell from the get-go there's something wrong with this aunt.
Just the total floozy, something's missing. Like, oh, it's just a perfect little day, isn't it? Absolutely nothing wrong with anything, right, kids?
And like great choice in costumes, because the way that the aunt is dressed, you could just tell that she's completely berserk, like Gonzo. Yeah.
Dunzo.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Not a word of dialogue. I want to know, I forget who's playing Martha Thomas, the aunt, but she is so good in this role because the way that she delivers all of her lines are just so off-putting, inhuman. I am convinced.
Inhuman.
I am convinced. No, not the character, the person that is like the actual actress is an alien who learned how to speak English that day.
That is, I mean, it just seems right, doesn't it? There it is, Desiree Gould.
Desiree, fucking props to you. You are the shit. That was such a great performance on your end.
This looks like Sleepaway Camp was definitely your best movie. Because it looks like she acted in the 80s.
You know what? Hit me up. I have a role for you. You can be in my films.
She's done 5 movies. Well, unfortunately, she passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, fuck. That sucks. Well, that's 5 more than I've done, so good for her.
5 movies, but get this. 79, 83, 06, 2010, 14. Talk about gaps in the resumes.
I mean, that Sleepaway Camp money finally like went away in the early 2000s. So good for her. So the 2 kids get sent away to Sleepaway Camp.
Yep.
And it is obvious from the get-go something's a little off about Angela, and her cousin's a little overprotective. I love that dynamic between the two. It's very cute.
The cousin was cool.
He is based as hell. We love that guy.
Dude, yeah. I guess his audition for the movie, the director just said, like, swear at me.
All right.
And that was it. And he's just like, you fucking asshole. Like it just, like, you could tell that that's what it was after you hear any more of his lines. Because this kid was just a fucking puckered asshole of an individual.
Knows how to puff his chest, even though he's going to get his ass kicked anyways.
Yeah. He was cool. I liked him.
We love him. It cuts to all of the counselors that are there. And, like, there's this one dude, Artie, who, like, that is what I picture when I hear the word pedophile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That, like, if you were like, cast. Close your eyes and, you know, picture a pedophile in your mind, that's what comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that actor and getting a call from your agent and be like, you're going to love this role. They saw your headshot and thought you were perfect. We need a kitty diddler. Yeah. You look like you're fresh off the bus from prison from actually having sex offense charges.
Dude, it's the nastiest, most perfect setup for everything. And he plays it perfectly.
A little too perfectly. Do we have any background information on this guy? I am guessing in prison.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll get to this more as we go on.
Oh, my God.
A surprise. This is his only role.
I'm shocked. Yeah. No way. Yeah. So not only do we get to meet all the counselors, but we get to meet all of the other kids. And it's also at this point that I realized that this movie is a milestone in fashion.
Yeah, with all the shorts that are way
too short. There's no such thing as too short, but come on.
Dude, yeah.
And all the crop tops of just like everything's cut off at the midsection.
Absolutely.
We need to bring this fashion back.
I mean, obviously. Yeah, come on. We need to bring body shots out of belly buttons.
Hell yes, dude. Yeah. Some dick huggers too. I miss those.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how not more was just flopping out back then, but
I'm sure there's an extended cut somewhere.
Yeah.
Where you could just see the outline of like everybody,
just some trousers killer snakes.
Dude, I like the one of the gym counselors is like an obvious like bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And like he is wearing shorts that like basically that's it. How a ball is not just popping out, how you don't see the outline of his dick and balls or anything like that.
Dude.
That had to be like digitally removed, I feel like.
Yeah. One of my notes here, because as I'm going through, I'm just ringing out, spit firing things that hit my brain, then I put it onto the thing, and one of my notes just says, "Holy shit, these outfits are gay."
They're gay, but amazing.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you can be gay and amazing, so it's just not a but. They are gay.
They are gay.
And amazing.
And amazing.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you think like a progressive. Mm-hmm. No, I love the outfits in this movie.
Especially in the, like, Bad News Bears baseball game
oh
that
my
goes
God.
on.
We'll get to that. So we meet our counselors, and they're all fresh off the bus from prison. One of them definitely is an actual pedophile, not just playing one in this movie. Then we meet all of our counselors, or not counselors, but all the kids that are also going to camp.
Yeah.
And they are the most stereotypical 80s bullies possible.
Dude.
Apparently, the cousin, whose name I totally remember because it's Ricky, Ricky apparently had a thing with the main hot girl from last year's camp. But when she gets,
Judy.
or when he gets here, Judy just blows him off completely for all the other boys.
Yeah, just cannot care about Ricky whatsoever.
Bitch.
And dude, Judy, she is perfectly cast for just like a hard bitch. Just no, and she nails
it.
She nails the role so perfectly. And have you ever seen The Curious Case of Natalie Grace?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's a super crazy documentary. I have not finished it, so I have no idea where it goes. But essentially, the TLDR of the story is these parents who are wackadoodle themselves go to adopt a child, and then they have this really weird, you have to get the child right here immediately, pick it up, and then they go and they pick it up, and they say that
there's
the
a bomb
child
inside it.
No, they close. They say that the child is 6 years old, and then they bring the child back, and then they're like, oh, we take it on vacation, let's go swimming, and then the child has a full set of pubes and a period. And now the whole documentary, which I've not finished yet, is about like figuring out what the hell like the kid actually is. And as it unfolds, of course, the family themselves are just complete nutcases that are involved into other things as well. But the whole thing is the main girl, Natalie Grace, the child, maybe not child, looks exactly like Judy.
Oh my God.
So that's also all that I was thinking in that too when we get introduced to Judy's character. But,
so as that story is making headlines across the nation, a casting director for Sleepaway Camp sees that on the news and goes, by God, get me this kid. We need to put her in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. But Judy also, just total side note, another derailment real quick. Actor's name is Karen Fields. And
shouts out, we love you, Karen Fields.
Like everyone else in this movie, for whatever reason, she has little to no other acting work whatsoever.
That's a shame, honestly. She was so great in this movie.
But so she did Sleepaway Camp, and then after Sleepaway Camp, she did a short called Judy because she was allegedly not stoked on how much of a bitch Judy was, and went back and made a short movie about Judy's backstory, about how she gets like abused from her parents, and then kills her parents as like sort of her own little like, no, there's a reason for the bitchiness kind of.
Oh my God, good for her.
Right,
now I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
I feel like a poser not knowing about that.
No, but I mean, back to where we are in the thing. Perfectly cast everyone. Judy is a bitch.
Is a bitch.
Ricky is a
Ricky is the perfect foil. You know what I mean? Like, he is scrawny, but you still root for him. Perfect underdog.
Yeah.
He's pretty much like he's an idiot teenager, and you can't help but feel bad for him.
Exactly.
But we can tell right away, as soon as we see Judy, some shit is going to go down, especially between Judy and Angela.
Yeah.
And it gets a while, but the shit goes down.
It pays off. You have to wait about an hour and a half.
You have to wait for an hour and a half of absolutely dick fucking nothing happening throughout this entire movie. There's some cool little kills in between then, but other than that,
yeah.
Which is why I'm just going to skip straight to the first kill, because it's also my favorite one in the movie, right?
It's the most gruesome.
It is pretty disgusting, and I do love the kills in this movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
So our sick, disgusting pedophile that works in the kitchen during cafeteria hours just decides, like, this is the reason why I signed up for this job, so better get to it. Finds Angela from the crowd, lures her into, like, this dark room, tries to... it is not subtle. No. He basically just says, like, I'm going to fuck you. Before Ricky, thankfully, walks in on him, breaks it up, and then just a few minutes later, all of a sudden, this big vial of, like, soup that he was boiling. I guess it was just water. It wasn't soup. But he was like boiling a whole bunch of water. I mean, this giant like person-sized pot of water.
Yeah, like a 4 or 5 foot pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gets poured on top of him and he boils to death.
Such a grotesque way to die, but proper for, being a diddler. But,
exactly.
But yeah, the special effects, they definitely nailed the look of what that would look like.
The special effects on that are top notch. I want to tie it back a little bit to what we were talking about earlier with Halloween and Black Christmas.
All right.
Because the way that it's shot, it's not POV, but it is shot in a very interesting way to where you never see who it is that's doing it.
Yeah.
Which it opens up for a lot of really cool red herrings later on in the movie, right? But you never see who it is. You get kind of a guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious at this point, but...
So there's one kid he fucked with.
There's only one kid he tried to do, so who knows, right? But yeah, when they cut back to him and he's like being dragged away by the ambulance and the people there are like, he is in horrific pain and he's never going to be the same again.
Yeah.
There's a part of me watching that like, good. Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah, please never. And then this is where we get the first glimpse of the camp counselor and how he just wants his shit to run right. Mm-hmm. He just wants everything to go because he's like, all right, yep, get him out of here, but be quiet. Let's find another cook right now. And just like completely not concerned about this guy whatsoever.
Goes up to the remaining staff members. And it's just like, you guys want a raise?
Yeah.
You know how to be quiet?
Come on, shush.
I need this place to run, okay? I don't need you guys to keep dying or ruining this for me.
It's 1983. You can get another 25 cents an hour.
And it reminded me of, I don't know if this is a stretch or not, but I'm sure you've seen Jaws.
Yeah.
You remember the mayor and how he's like, I don't care there's a giant shark. I got to keep the beaches open.
Yeah, it's the 4th of July. We can't close it down.
We can't close it down. There's money to be made.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking every single time I saw him talking about like, oh, the parents are never going to send their kids to us again.
No. Yeah.
So after that, it hasn't peaked. There are some pretty interesting kills in this, but that one is very, very good. We have a whole lot of nothing happening. And like, I am accused all the time of being a pretentious asshole that loves these horror movies where nothing happens.
Sure. Skinamarink.
I mean, literally nothing is happening in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
We get scenes of like, this isn't like character development or anything. It's just like people interacting. And it is all filler.
Yeah.
They're just doing summer camp activities.
The baseball game is funny, but it's not even like that entertaining or necessary for anything. I mean, yeah, sure. It's like there's clashes of kids because they're kids. Yeah, that's what happens at a thing. And you get such great top tier lines like eat shit and die. How about eat shit and live?
That is quality writing, yes.
Man, one of my biggest disappointments in being a child of grew up in the 2000s and 2010s and everything, is I'll never get to know 1980s cocaine. Because it just inspired the craziest music and the craziest movies.
I'm sure if you look somewhere, there's a subculture dedicated to it, and you'll be able to at least get your hands on some.
Yeah, some of that good Colombian marching powder.
God, so much of it was made, there's no way all of it got snorted, right?
Hopefully, there's a lot of septums.
If you know where we can find some, hit us up, okay? Comments below.
Spooky School Podcast.
Yeah, at gmail.com. If you're not a cop, you will definitely email us about how we can buy drugs off of you. So, a whole bunch of nothing happens up until we get to this one scene where it seems like all of the kids are going to either go swimming or skinny dipping together, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this one scrawny-looking kid, Kenny, who's making fun of Angela. I believe throws her into the lake.
Yeah.
After Angela conveniently walks off screen, Kenny is trying to swim back through a boat, is under the boat, when all of a sudden somebody off camera appears and then drowns him.
Yeah.
The drowning scene itself, like, I honestly have like a fear of drowning. That seems like such a horrible way to die.
Yeah.
And the drowning scene itself is not that bad. It's when his body is found that was just so gruesome.
It looks brutal.
Yeah.
At this point, the gruesome deaths are 2 out of 2. Both those were like good job on the special effects, but that's a lot to work. And funny enough, behind the scenes, the kid had to go to the hospital in that scene regardless, because when he was being drowned, apparently he sliced his hand open on a rock and had to be hospitalized. On the whole, yeah. So either way, the guy really did put blood, sweat, and tears into it. So
into that whole thing, yeah. Way to go! Went above and beyond for that performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, they find his dead body the next day, and again back to Jaws of just like, we got to rule this as an accident.
Of course.
We got to make sure nobody finds out about this.
Keep the camp open.
We got to keep it open. We got to keep that money going.
Send a telegram to the parents.
Our favorite counselor, the bodybuilder, is wearing like this skin tight, like top that only goes up to like his 3rd set of abs.
Yeah.
And like shorts where you can see the outline. And he's just like, I don't know, man. That guy was like the best swimmer we had. It seems so strange that he drowned. And the main counselor's like, it's a fucking accident. You're just going to make sure it's thought of as an accident.
Remember, get that out of your mind right now. Accidente.
Accident. But we cut back to our main character, Angela. And Angela is getting a love interest now with, what's his name? Paul, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Paul is also a socially stunted outcast kind of kid.
Yeah.
But understands where Angela's coming from. It's not being judgmental. It's not trying to like...
Yeah.
He's not being a dickhead. He's just like, hey, I'm here to chill. Do you like to chill? I like to chill.
Yeah.
And Angela comes out of her shell and actually talks to him, says something to him for the first time.
First person besides her cousin that she talked to in the movie at all.
At all.
Yeah.
So their relationship is starting to blossom.
Yeah. At Sleepaway Camp 2.
At Sleepaway Camp. Oh, wait till you see Sleepaway Camp 2. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Trying to stay on track here. Sorry. Not trying to snort in the mic.
You good?
So they kiss at one point.
Keith.
Just a little. But Angela's not into it. She doesn't like being touched. And we'll find out why later. Sorry, I'm just going over my notes here.
No, you
Let's just like start over. Okay, and then we come up to like what is, I don't want to say nothing's happening at this point because we get to see all the people starting to bully Angela. And that maybe kind of resembles a plot.
Yeah.
And we get to, I'm going to argue is my favorite kill in this movie. Just because of how original I think it is, right? So we see these 2 fucking kids, doesn't matter what their names are. I don't even have them in my notes. Asshole 1 and Asshole 2 are just tormenting her. I believe this is the one that like pelted her with water balloons.
Yeah.
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 And then goes to a bathroom to take a fat deuce where the stall is locked. And then all of a sudden from behind, the window slides open and then a hornet's nest is brought into the stall and dropped in there.
Dude, this made the grotesque deaths now 3 out of 3 because that was nasty. But on to your point with the originality of the kill, like it's so much more satisfying than just like a stab.
Yep.
Or just what's going on here. Like, no, it was let's drop a hornet's nest and then lock them in. Let's see what happens.
And like, it's so brilliantly done too, because you can tell a lot of thought went into like, how do we kill a bunch of people but not show it for very cheap?
Yeah.
Water, off-screen bees.
Off-screen bees.
Off-screen bees, which is a great band name. Yeah.
like.
So yeah, you don't really see the bees or anything, or the bees stinging the kid. You do just get to see the aftermath, which looked vile.
Yeah. Special effects budget for still deaths, greatly used.
100 out of 10.
Yeah.
It is like the only redeeming value of this movie so far are the kills, and it takes a lot of work to get to them.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that Ricky was also entertaining, but I feel like I liked Ricky the most after the whole movie was done, and I got it for what it was.
Yeah. And like Ricky, I have a hard time calling him a character because he doesn't really go through a growth. He doesn't go through an arc.
No.
He just kind of exists and swears at the camera.
Yeah. He's kind of like a narrator where he serves just to keep the story moving.
Exactly. And it's like something I see a lot in, I don't want to say bad, but just mainly like non-interesting horror films, I guess, of very passive characters. Because Ricky is like, he's not actively going after anything.
No.
Everything's just happening around him, and he's just there reacting.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I just don't like that in my movies. I like it when people go towards goals.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, but also you're forgetting about the piles of cocaine that would be in 1983.
This is true.
Like now, and also I did find that having a lot of these people this is their only movie is a weird, like, how then did this fully get made? And I was trying to find a bunch of just, like, whatever facts
I can tell you from experience trying to make a horror film, you will find so many people desperate to be in anything because they think it'll be their big break.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's got to be part of it.
And I'm surprised not more people actually got known for this, but yeah, I guess. Should have picked a different one.
Goes to show, don't say yes to everything.
No.
So, Mel ends up dying. Beehive dies. This is when our camp counselor starts to put the pieces together and realizes that there is a serial killer loose on campus. These deaths can't be accidental. Somebody's doing this on purpose. And you know who I think it is? That piece of shit Ricky.
It's, of course, Ricky.
Why do I think it's Ricky? Because he's the main character, and I hate him. That's why.
Motormouth motherfucker.
That piece of shit.
Get this guy out of here.
He swore at me once. He has to be a murderer.
Yeah.
So that's our first like little red herring, which I love. Mm-hmm. And then Angela and Paul have a cute little date scene where Paul kisses her again, which unlocks her subconscious.
Yeah.
And here's where things went from like, okay, this movie's a little weird to like, bro, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
It is revealed that the dad and his best friend at the beginning of the movie, they're a lot more than best friends.
A lot more.
They're fucking. They are in love gay homos.
Yeah.
And like when I
They're tight.
I'm bi, I can say that. Okay. And like I thought this was honestly like for a movie that came out in the 80s, showing two men in bed together kissing was pretty transgressive for the time.
Yeah,
it was pretty wild, I would say.
And just the way that it was shot, it definitely felt like this is something that they're coming out of okay, this is something special because it is like almost like black background of like here's these two lovers on the bed. Look at them. And then they're being stared at by the kids. So
I'm sure the reaction to that reveal was so different in the 80s when this first came out as compared to now, right?
Oh, dude.
Because like first time watching this, right? I remember just seeing that and being like, oh yeah, that's probably why they were together, right?
Yeah.
Back in 85, I'm sure like when they saw that just... Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Homosexual in my movies?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, 1985, they didn't even know Freddie Mercury was gay yet.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't know Judas Priest was gay. I mean, George Michael? Nope, no idea.
83, sorry, not 85.
83? Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, well. I don't know anything about shit. Don't worry about me.
to quote the Ozarks lady, I don't know shit about fuck.
I don't know shit about fuck. That is my life saying at this point. Yeah. So it's supposed to be like the shocking reveal. And I think it kind of adds a little bit more to that, like, you need to be afraid of gay people by having like, it's not only like the reveal of the father and them or that other guy are lovers, it's that even the children knew about it.
Right.
That's not the traditional nuclear family. We can't be having that. That's bad, right?
No. Single dad who got lucky. The wife died. Whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
And I gotta say, between the two guys, 70s hunks to the max, though.
Oh, yeah, those dudes were.
Yeah.
Except one of them's bald. We can't have that.
Mm-mm. Get that shit out of here.
Grow hair if you're going to watch this podcast. Just kidding. But if you are a hair growing company, please sponsor us.
At this point, not knowing the ending, not knowing anything about the movie, and we just had this little flashback, my notes were, that's an odd bed scene, but I don't really know what it means yet, but it may not be there for any outcome.
True. It could have just been there to waste even more time.
Yeah, and it couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yep. It's actually very important that happens.
Yeah.
So Paul is just giving up, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to get into this. Why even be here? And as he leaves, he is then seduced by Judy.
Judy.
The Jezebel.
Miss Bitch.
Yeah, Jezebel Judy coming in, stealing another man.
Like,
And Angela sees it, and that's no good. We can't be having that.
but also sees it in the craziest way possible because her and Ricky were out in the woods and they just stumble across it again, and she's just like, and Judy, top-notch acting of just being a perfect bitch of like, oh, was this us? I had no idea.
Oh my God, he was your man's? I didn't know about that at all.
I'm sorry. We're just,
Oopsies.
it's so hot at the sleepaway camp. I just don't know. I can't keep up.
So, let's see. Judy and Meg, they toss her into the water and has sand flung at her by small children. Yeah, that's Meg. Okay, good. I'm just getting my notes together. Let me redo that.
You got it.
So, again, after all this goes down, Meg and Judy end up picking on Angela. And then just out of convenience sake, weird how it's all the people that are picking on Angela end up dying horribly somehow.
Right.
Because Meg is the next to go, and she gets killed in the shower.
Yeah. Now, still, the grotesque deaths are only 3 out of 4, but this was one of the gnarlier ones in the sense of it was a brutal surgical shoot and like drag down the spine, which is good knife skills.
Good knife skills. Throwback to Psycho.
Yeah.
Check out our last episode if you haven't seen it yet. How did they come up with that idea of like killing somebody with a knife in the shower?
I mean, it's one of the more original ones I've seen, but especially
I would say that tops the Beehive, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 24 years after horror movies were made, and they really, really just went beyond out of their way to come up with a way that no one's ever been killed before.
Never, ever,
No.
yeah.
Still, no nudity, though.
Finally, right? At this
Yeah.
point, even though these are supposed to be kids, so it's kind of creepy and weird.
No, I thought there was still no nudity. Or was there?
There was titties in this scene, at least, I think.
Oh, never mind.
Maybe I'm having a Psycho moment where
Maybe.
I thought there was nudity.
We just insert the nudity.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But she is the next to go. Meg is killed. There's a big social event that's being held, and then that's where Paul runs into Angela again, and is just like, look, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You got to realize those other hoes don't mean shit to me. You're the
No.
only real one.
Judy's a slut. She offered some crazy things I just knew you weren't going to do. So
I just knew she was wild, and I had to experience that once.
Just
okay?
once,
just
once.
once.
Was I wrong? No.
I was thinking of you the whole time.
This skill really is where the rest of the movie kicks up. Because as you were saying before this point, there was just a lot of expose where it was like, all right, cool. Yeah, we just need to build the story. How? Well, they're kids. Obviously, they play baseball. Who's the best? Well, they're probably this kid. And then halfway through the conversation, the dude in the back of the writer's room is like, what? No, it's a horror movie, deaths. And they're like, no. But after this is when BPMs get
We
turned up
have
a little bit.
$5, and we're using it on one kill.
Speaking about $5, though, I did just look it up. Do you know the budget of this movie? It is fucking wild in comparison to Black Christmas.
How much was Black Christmas again? That was like 600,000, right?
Yeah, like 650, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 500,000 even.
It came out almost a decade later than Black Christmas, and it had half the budget.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So at that point, all the kills start to get even cooler, in my opinion, because it's like you had less than either that or no one on this movie got paid, which is probably why no one on this movie got any other.
Probably not
work.
only they got paid, did not get paid. Their names were misspelled in the credits on purpose.
Yeah.
Because we wrote a check to Angelina. Sorry that you didn't get your money. Whoopsies.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it's only $200 though, so you'll be fine without it.
Yeah,
you got a job, right?
It's actually you're getting paid in gift cards for Freddy Krueger stores. Yeah. So at one point,
Wait. I think we're missing on a real weird bit here. So the lady that was murdered in the shower, I don't think it was clear if she was was she a counselor or was she a student? I think she was a counselor, right?
maybe because I
either
remember
way-
her picking on.
Right. She was totally picking on it's weed memory. Angela.
I think you're totally right because it ends up she interrupts. Paul's trying to explain to himself or explain what's going on to Angela when she finds him kissing.
Yeah.
And then it's Meg and Judy who show up and are like, "Go back to your rooms, get out of here,
Right,
don't do shit."
right. Did you catch that Meg was trying to hook up with the camp counselor because it was her night off, and that's why she was showering up and was.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And so so I was thinking, I was like, is she even of age? But either way, it's creepy. But at least it's a little better thinking that if she's a counselor, she's hopefully over 18. But I don't know. It's
Who
still
knows?
fucking creepy as hell because the dude's obviously the 106. Like.
And also, that makes sense, too, because, I do remember there being nudity in that scene. So, obviously, it's going to be with one of the counselors.
Yeah.
Not one of the kids going there. I'm sure the actress playing the counselor turned 18 the day of.
The day that it was shot.
That it was
yeah.
shot, yeah. They're actually waiting. She's, in the shower with pasties on. And they're, there next to this clock, 5, 4, 3, 2, now! That's perverted. They did that. We didn't think of that. That's gross. I can't believe movies in the 80s would even do these kind of things. I respect.
We live in year of our Lord 2023. It's nothing but positive progressiveness.
Exactly. I would never even think of these things. That's just disgusting.
Yeah.
So, later on, we're kind of speeding through things here, but during the social event, 4 of the 6 kids that were making fun of Angela earlier on are just in pieces at this point.
Yeah.
Just piles of flesh on top of each other.
Even the local ambulance is like, what the fuck is going on?
We could probably sew them back together maybe, but
Yeah. Might as well give him the fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at this point.
So our main camp counselor, his name is Mel, finds Ricky and thinks that Ricky's the one doing all of this. Again, just based on vibes.
Yeah.
I don't like that kid, so obviously he's the one who's behind all this, so I'm just going to murder him.
You're snappy and I hate you.
Exactly. Beats the shit out of this poor guy. And then he ends up running into the woods where he is then... he does this classic thing of just there's somebody off camera and he's looking at it and he's like, "Oh my God, you're the real killer? Oh no!" And then ends up getting croaked.
Yeah.
Arrow to the throat, which was pretty fucking wild.
Great kill. And also throwback to Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got the archery kills back then too.
Yep.
Where it was right pierced up on the door.
Well, it's like an activity at summer camps, right?
That's true, especially back. I mean, you're not doing that modern day summer camps. Not here in the Pacific Northwest.
I don't know.
That is
maybe.
some southern shit, dude. We don't touch bow and
Summer
arrows.
camp archery. I've never been to a summer camp in my entire life.
I went a couple times, but they're all based around Jesus. So all of the cool.
Oh,
archery,
you went to the really cool ones then.
Yeah, and instead of archery, we got crisscross applesauce while someone
You
speaks
had
in
to
tongues to my face.
You had to use the bow and arrow, but you had to hit the palm of the hand to get it to the wood, right?
Yeah. Pin the nail in the savior.
Yep. And then remember, he did that just for you. And if you do anything even kind of bad, you're going to hell.
You're going to. Oh, trust me, I know. Trust me.
So at this point, it is pure chaos.
Yeah.
All the counselors are freaked out. Cops are on their way. We get this great shot of Ricky, who's unconscious, but he's alive. And then Paul thinks that he's finally going to get some with Angela.
Yeah.
But it turns out Angela's actually a praying mantis. Because when they were shacking up, she just decides to, well, let's get to the big reveal. Yep. Which is our buff, very handsome, whose name I totally remember, and I'm pretty sure it's Ronnie. Ronnie and the other counselor, whose name I'm pretty sure is Susie, are walking through. They come onto a beach, and this is where they find Angela naked, holding the severed head of Paul.
Yeah.
But not only that, oh my God, how can it be? She's a boy.
She's a man.
And we pull out to reveal Angela has a gigantic dick and balls.
It is. I mean, props to the actor because it looked cold. It was at night.
It was
still
nighttime,
hanging
yeah.
there, so.
Still hanging strong. This was before Viagra, too.
Yeah.
So it is revealed that Angela is actually her thought-to-be-dead brother.
Yeah.
Angela, the real Angela, was the one that died in this accident.
Uh-huh.
And then Peter was brainwashed into being Angela by her psychotic aunt.
Yeah, the aunt just said, like, I already have a son. I don't want another one.
I don't want another one. You're a girl now.
Yeah. I like
Which
the name
is
Angela.
how
Go
conservatives believe gender reassignment care actually works.
Yeah.
Or no, that's how they think kindergarten is.
Yeah. Oh, you're a nice, strong boy that's into cars? Not anymore.
Not anymore.
You're going to wear a fucking peacock dress, you little... But, in that final shot, that was actually a lowly paid college student with a plaster of Angela's face on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I guess that he was so nervous that they finally just said, fuck it, you can get drunk. And he got, like, near blackout drunk to be, like, past his stage fright of being naked in front of all the cast and crew and everything. And not only that, but apparently, because in the shot you see people, like, on the docks behind him and whatnot. Those people even forget about the cast and crew who are paying him probably 17 beers just to do this one shot. Everyone that was back on the dock in the final reveal was people from the town just coming out, seeing what the fuck's going on. So now this college student...
they're filming a movie in our little area. Oh, my God.
Dude, exactly. So he was able to just get blackout drunk so he could do that final scene.
And, like, I'm sure it was very, very shocking to the 1980s audience seeing this for the first time. The one thing that actually does, to this day, still kind of give me the heebie-jeebies is when Angela's holding that severed head and she's making the most, like, inhuman, like, snarling sound.
Yeah.
And, like, knowing that's a plaster now, too, like... Her face in that shot always horrified me.
Definitely.
Of just that wide-eyed, like, right? Yeah, she looks
totally
like an animal, right? Yeah, feral. And I always thought it was the exact opposite. I had always thought, like, just thinking, like, oh, if it was me filming this, obviously we would get the actress and then we just put a fake body on her. Turns out it's the other way around. I don't know shit about making movies.
No one does, especially if you only have $340,000 to make it.
To make one, yeah.
But just being said, coming back, that movie made 30 times its budget.
This is pretty good. You can only do that reveal once, though.
Yeah. I mean, they did make a sequel, which I'm excited
to
see.
They made like 5 of them, I think.
Yeah.
And I think there's one called Return to Sleepaway Camp, which the original actress who plays Angela is the lead role in that one.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. So you were telling me that you didn't like the kind of like first third of the movie because of all the expose and the like filler and everything?
Not like exposition, but just filler. Just filler. It's not like the baseball scene. You could remove that. Nothing would change about the movie.
Change.
There's so many, and that's what I mean by pacing issues, is there's so much this film that you could just get rid of, and it would not change anything.
So it blows my mind that they left the baseball scene in there, because apparently on day one of filming, they were already behind time and behind budget that they threw out the storyboards on day one. Day one. They're like, actually, fuck it. We're going to do this guerrilla style. And the fact that this didn't turn out looking like the first Friday the 13th when that was the thing
The fact that
happened,
this even got made. and produced at this point and actually released in theaters is a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
Because I have been on that exact same scenario of just like, we're already behind schedule. What if we just kind of wing it and see what happens? And then like, oh, this is just never getting done. Oof, it takes a lot to make a movie. So that's actually insane that they did that and made it happen.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with this movie because I love to laugh at it.
Yeah.
I love to poke fun at it. I do not like to watch this as a horror film. I like to watch the straight up filler that's in this and point at the outfits and go, okay, I'm going on Amazon and figuring out how to wear this exact fit.
Right. Well, no, you just buy regular outfits, but 7 sizes too small.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking about the outfits, Baldwin's beware. Because the police uniform that they got, they just borrowed from the police station. And when they were given to them, they had all of the guns loaded.
Good thing Alec Baldwin was not on that set.
Literally. Good thing there was not a scene of like the cop pulling out a gun for anything. But yeah, I guess the small town was just not only like, fuck it, sure, use these.
Yeah, here's a loaded gun, by the way. Just have it.
Yeah, I mean,
free.
The 80s, number one.
The cops were on cocaine back then, too.
Yeah, like, let's rock and roll. There's a lot of bad shit that happens. Life expectancy was 43, but it's pretty tight.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about this movie without talking about the ending.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sure the ending was very shocking to the very Christian polite audience back in the 80s, right?
Dude, and it really hung on to it until the very end. As first viewer, I looked nothing up at all, and I had no idea. It shocked me, like, fully. I had
Why
no
did
idea.
this shock you? Honestly, like, just asking.
Just because I genuinely was not. I was thinking that it was the sister the whole time. That's why the flashback for like the gay dads didn't make it, especially Year of Our Lord 2023. Like anyone talking about being homosexual, especially me being born and raised in the northern suburb of Seattle, and then being in the time that we are, like whenever anyone talks about being gay, it's just like it doesn't even register. It's like, yeah, of course it happens. Like, whatever.
It's just
like,
normal to us. Yeah.
Yes, there's tons of them. But especially back in the 80s, I got to forget about that. And I thought that they just added that as like an extra flair of like, scandalous. Here's some things are going on. But
beware of that movie. It has gay dudes kissing in it. You can't watch that. Uh-oh.
No. They just every actor ever. Like. But yeah, actually, like ringing the end where it with the big reveal, I was not prepared, and it was a cool twist. Even I mean, I don't know if it could work the same way nowadays than it definitely did, but I mean, even using me as a test subject, like it definitely worked on me. Of like, oh yeah, did not see that coming.
I think definitely it's more the context of how Angela ended up in the position that she did, right? Because I think for 1983, it's this underlying message of like she killed people because she was brainwashed into thinking that she was a girl.
She was already under so many stressors of her brother and her dad, or her sister and her dad dying.
Right.
And now an aunt that wants a girl more than anything. And that's your new parental figure. As a kid, you only know adults as gods.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
That's it.
So, yeah, I kind of do wonder if there is hopefully never a remake of this, but how it would work in like today's kind of context.
Yeah. It would be
like,
super interesting.
You can't have a movie now to where like the killer is revealed to be like trans or gay, and then subtly, well, not really subtly, but like imply that like they killed a whole bunch of people because of that.
Just because of the turmoil that they went through that came about from all this, which, I'm sure wasn't easy, but yeah, you wouldn't be able to pass that now.
I would be interested to hear like a trans person's perspective on this movie too. But if I had to guess,
one of my good friends, you want me to call him up?
Might as well.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'm sure it's like there's got to be such a division because there's no like one universal voice opinion in a huge community, right?
Yeah.
So like if I were to ask like one trans person, what do you think of this ending? I get explained to me, well, it's very transphobic because of this, this, and this. And then the opposite is true. If I ask another trans person, like, what'd you think of this? Like,
Yeah.
actually, it's pretty base because of this, this, and this.
So are you saying that trans people are actually just people that have differing opinions through everything?
You know, if I had to like summarize it all into that, probably.
Yeah.
I'd also, I don't know. I feel weird making those arguments, or like, forgive me. I don't. Angela in this movie is not, I guess, what we understand now as trans, because there was never like an actual going through the identity portion of that. It was just straight up forced on her.
Yeah.
Which is, again, this is what conservatives think
That
kindergarten is in Florida now.
Which I'm sure that would be fucking traumatizing.
As
especially-
hell, yeah.
Yeah. And especially in a climate that was not prepared for it
Right.
whatsoever.
But like, there's a difference between like somebody knowing who they are as a person and having
Yeah.
to like go through that, as opposed to having it just completely forced on you for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But as far as a reveal goes in a straight up movie,
It was pretty wild.
top tier, dude.
Yeah.
just like all of a sudden this young girl is hanging dong. Like it was pretty funny. It was pretty, but it really hung on to it. And the demented auntie making her transition to suppress horrible memories and the cause and effect to explain the murderous ride is just like, forget about anything that's going on now or the times or whatever. It's like the writer of this movie, when he wrote that twist, I'm sure he was like, oh, I fucking nailed it.
Bro, what if she had a fucking dick? Yeah.
I did it.
He's just sitting at this typewriter with like cigarettes surrounding it, and he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Which now the flashback scene makes all the sense, where it's like, now looking back, he was feeling that way because it's like, oh, like I guess I kiss guys now too.
Again, it's like trying to use gay terror as a way of like shocking the audience, right? Of like, oh, you need to be afraid of these pesky homosexuals.
Is gay terror just Rocky Horror?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Also the name of my band.
Rocky Horror? Or
No, Gay Terror.
Oh, okay. It's pretty tight. GT?
Gay Terror Picture Show.
Gay Terror Picture Show.
I cannot recommend this movie to anyone unless I don't like them and want to force them to watch it for my amusement.
Why not if they ask, what if someone comes up to you and says, hey, I would like a comedy where 4 people die?
Oh, yeah, Sleepaway
Actually,
Camp.
like 12 people now that I think about like everyone, but
Everybody, yeah.
there's a lot of fucking last minute just,
Just throw it in there just because.
Yeah.
We'll make it make sense in post. It's a movie I cannot take seriously as horror. It's just some hokey fun. It's great to play for Zoomers who don't know the ending and then just go, oh, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, I was not. Dude, everyone, sorry, I'm going through the IMDb. Everyone who worked on this movie is only Sleepaway Camp's career. That's
I
crazy.
wonder why.
Yeah.
When the movie came out, it kind of did not get great reviews.
Really?
Yeah. Would you be shocked to hear that the Sleepaway Camp did not get rave reviews when it first came out? Absolutely 0 Oscar nominations for this one, which I cannot believe.
You mean to tell me that this and Deliverance weren't on the same tier?
I think Deliverance got at least one Best Picture nomination.
Oh, okay.
I'm making that up, but I choose to believe that. I'm using faith to believe that. I don't want evidence to change my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Overall, though, tell me your thoughts and feelings on Sleepaway Camp. I get a feeling that you and I have different appreciations for this movie.
Yeah, because I'm not going to go around and tell people that this is like anything legendary, like for the history books or anything, but the unintentional comedy and the super, no pun intended, campy horror is 2 things that I love in a movie. And you know that I could watch camp all day. I love cheese. I love like just when shit's wrong to be wrong, you know? And because of that, this was flooded with it. So I definitely enjoyed it. Again, probably only recommend it to people who want just like to get a little buzz on and watch something straight up ridiculous. But at some point I have to see Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 now because
Absolutely.
this was a pretty wild story. But yeah.
As much as I just don't like this movie, I do think that this is like, if you want the most straightforward, as much as I don't like this movie, and I was just shitting on it, right?
Yeah.
If somebody were to ask me, what is the most straightforward example of a slasher film you can think of, I would probably give them this one.
Yeah, which is funny because like slasher, there's not too many people that are actually slashed.
There's one in the shower, yeah.
Right. But it falls perfectly under the genre because each individual is being slashed up by something.
Yep.
Like, not in the conventional psycho terms, but by something.
By something, and something pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, feelings, opinions on this movie?
No, I thought it was fun. I'll definitely rewatch it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you liked it. If you took something out of it, then that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I just can't take it serious. I'm sorry.
I feel like that's also the reason why I like it though, is because like it just is not serious, you know. Whereas probably the reason why I didn't like Friday the 13th so much is because they were so set on having this be serious, whereas this is just like, come on. What are we doing? I mean,
If Johnny Depp was in dick hugging shorts, then yes, I would love Friday the 13th.
absolutely, yeah, but he's not, and Ricky can't be because he's too young.
Exactly. So I think before we announce our next pick, we have to announce our new show.
New show.
We have a new show, which is a Patreon.com exclusive. This is not pointed correctly. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's take that up from the top.
Cool.
So before we announce the next film that's on the docket, I think we actually have to announce our new show that's coming out pretty soon.
Show.
And that new show is called Extra Credit,
Extra credit.
which you can only get on patreon.com/ whatever URL is about to pop on this screen because I haven't actually set up the Patreon yet. Go there because we are going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite pieces of shit.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite movies, just in terms of like over the top, grotesque, everything that like moms hate about slashers.
Sick.
It was produced in Italy and released in America. The tagline is, "You don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre."
Nice.
The movie is called Pieces.
Pieces.
And we're going to be doing that on a Patreon exclusive episode of Extra Credit. Completely uncensored, only available on patreon.com/spooky school, maybe when I get the URL set up.
Yeah.
Be sure to check that out when you can. And for those of you who are just watching the show and enjoying it, this is the end of our first season. So semester 1, Slasher School,
All done.
is over. You've passed A+
Thank you.
flying colors.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So we are going to go into the next semester where we're going to be tackling my favorite subgenre,
Okay.
which is J-horror,
All right.
Japanese horror films.
Well, there was 2 ways I was gonna go with that. That wasn't.
I want to know what the other one was. Jalapeno horror?
Jewish.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a better episode idea. All right, I'm going to come up with some Jewish horror names. And
Yeah.
so for our first semester of J-horror, I want you to watch what has got to be, this is pretty much like the Japanese Dracula. You know how like 1920s Dracula is like, what? Did I say something racist?
No, I thought of something racist, but you.
Oh my
continue.
God,
Yeah,
no.
like-
Condone. No, you're
yeah,
terrible.
like-
We don't have that here. This is what I think of when I think of like, because Dracula is like 1920s, is the most iconic horror film of all time.
Yeah.
This is what I think of the Japanese equivalent of being, which is 1998.
Okay.
I swear I know my shit. I want you to watch Ringu.
Ringu. All right.
You're going to watch the Japanese original. You're not going to watch the fucking
The Ring.
American version.
You're not gonna watch that,
You can watch the American version.
but then I'll fail the class.
No, we will talk about it. Unironically, I do love that movie.
Okay, cool.
Just because, we'll talk about it on the episode. But yeah, I love the American version. It has a special place in my heart. But the original, you need to see it.
All right.
Not only do you need to see it, I'm going to lend you my VCR and my VHS copy of Ringu.
Okay.
Because that is the only way possible to watch it.
All right.
At least the best possible way to watch it.
Yeah.
So we will be back next time. We're going to discuss Ringu, unless you're a... We will be back next time. We will discuss Ringu, unless you are a Patreon supporter, in which case we will talk about the cult hit Pieces. So we will see you next time we see you. Thank you so much for supporting us during this very first season of ours. It's been kind of rough getting this off the ground, but... You know, as we keep learning, we keep growing, we keep evolving, and making this a better show.
Nothing is supposed to be perfect as we get, and we're diving into the punk rock movie genre. So trying to start a podcast is about as punk rock as
punk rock as you can get, especially when you break into your own place of employment just to tack a bunch of wallpaper onto the wall to film a podcast. Allegedly, not actually happening. This is not an admission of any guilt.
Absolutely not.
It cannot be played in court. For any reason.
Nope.
We will see you next time. Until we meet again, take care and stay spooky, my friends.
Peace.
Så, det er nok, og det skal jeg fast.